Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Live Love Life, or LV3LF3. First thing I need you to do is in the bottom right side of your screen, press that little subscribe button so that you can get every single one of the videos that comes across. Today we are at Escapology with my friend Marcus and Ashley and Eneix, if you didn't get to meet them last time. I'm Shane. And we're here just to talk about life and talk about the things that you want to hear about. And again and again and again, all we want you to do is put in the comments what you want to see, what you want to hear, and what you want us to talk about.
Where you want us to go.
Yeah.
Who you want us to talk to. Today we're talking to these people.
Yeah. Today, this video won't come out for a couple of days, but it's September 11th today. And one of the things I was thinking about earlier today is everybody remembers exactly that one point where they were standing when they heard about what happened on September 11th, 2001. I myself, I was up in northern Minnesota and I was working for a company called Sheehy Construction. And my boss came up to me and he said, some plane just flew into one of the buildings. And we're like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And then he came back about 10 minutes later and he said, another plane, I just got chills, another plane just flew into the other building. And we both went, holy cow, what's happening? And it literally, at that moment in my life, it felt like the world was completely changing. And I can honestly say, the United States, we've been a different place since then. I've seen more patriotism in the last 10 years, 18 years than I've ever seen before. And to me, that's really huge. I'm a huge advocate of, being a patriot for our country. And my question to these guys was, where were you?
Well, it's crazy that you brought this up. Obviously, it's September 11th today, but you guys didn't tell me, what you might be talking about.
I didn't tell anybody anything.
Surprise.
No, but before you guys got here, and obviously all day today, reminiscing and thinking about it, but one of the thoughts that I had was that, maybe that's something that we should discuss and go to. And I was thinking, who does remember? Obviously, you think everyone would remember, but that's definitely something, and people our age, of course, I think. You're absolutely right. You'll never forget exactly where you were when you heard that news, and that's something that every year, obviously, in the anniversary, I go over that again in my mind. But I was watching a video today, and same thing, goosebumps, and get very emotional about it. And then as soon as you said that, I'm thinking, it's funny. I was thinking the exact same thing, that we talk about that. But yeah, I don't think that if you were old enough, not a child, that you would never forget what you were doing when you heard the news. So it's a funny story. It's not a funny story at all, but it kind of is. So I was a sophomore at University of Rhode Island, and I was on my way to class just like any other morning, listening to Howard Stern, because I used to listen to Howard Stern every morning on my way to school. I was going to my econ class, and Robin Givens, because I believe where their studio was, they could see the towers in New York, said that she saw smoke coming from one of the towers. And they almost kind of joked about it for a minute, and it was just kind of a part of, what's going on, what happened. And I was sitting in traffic before I got to school and just listening to them kind of talk about it. There's smoke coming from the tower. They say a plane hit it. It must have been a small plane, one of those little personal planes or something, or a private jet. And they're kind of going back and forth. And I called my roommate, Tony, and he didn't answer. It was, 8 o'clock in the morning. And, and I made the comment to him. I said, hey, listening to Stern, we're under attack. And I remember that. I'll never forget that, because that's what was happening. And I thought that it was just some random event had happened and some plane had hit the tower. And then when I got onto campus, we started class. That's when we found out that it in fact was a plane that had been hijacked. And the day went on, and it was very surreal and strange being on the campus. Yeah. Someone came in, and my professor got upset because someone came in and was saying that we were under attack, and he said that he would handle the class, and people were leaving. They were obviously very emotional, and he finished class, and class ended, and we all gathered. A lot of people were gathering in kind of the union and watching on some screens, and a lot of people at the school were from Jersey and New York, and people running around. It was getting a little hectic, and that's when the towers came down. And I just remember calling my parents and talking to my mother on the phone when it was happening. But absolutely, just at that moment, it was like things changed. So
Crazy.
When you say that you'll never forget, I think we feel that as a nation, and we all feel that as Americans. Even if you don't remember exactly where you were, that you'll never forget. So
Always remember.
yeah.
What about you, Ashley? You were 4. You were 4
No.
years old. Were you
That's
born
what I mean
yet?
about being of a certain age,
born
but
yet?
I was in first grade.
That was it.
you saw it from a different perspective.
Do you remember that in first grade, though?
Yes.
When you have some recall.
Yes, they the announcements had came on in my first grade class at Carlton Farmore Elementary, and they had announced that all activities after school was canceled, and they brought the rolly TVs in and just kind of showed us the planes
Really?
flying into the towers.
I'm surprised at that.
Well,
Honestly, to
I
hear
don't-
that,
I
I'm
do not
surprised.
think that they would do that these days.
2001, it was a different world.
Yeah.
18 years ago was a different world than it is today.
But that's.
Yeah.
Do you remember watching it? I mean,
Absolutely.
just heard your story, but
I remember watching it. No one really was paying attention. We were learning about clocks and how to tell time that wasn't digital.
Because
That's a good thing to learn.
Yeah, so everyone else was kind of being social, and I'm not a social person, so I was actually watching, and I was like, wow, this is probably the worst thing that could happen. But I didn't fully understand. So when my stepmom went to come pick me up, and she was crying, it kind of hit me like it was real. Like everything I watched was real. And that whole day, like they kept explaining to me like the impact of it, and I think I was scared of planes like flying over me for a whole 3 years after that.
Jesus. Enix?
Well, I actually was.
Well, you're the oldest out of all of us.
I was on my way. I worked for Wachovia National Bank at the time, and I was on my way to my Clearwater office, and I was talking to one of my clients on the phone, and all of a sudden my phone started blowing up, like one person calling after another. It was a family member, it was a friend, it was a family member, it was a friend, and I was not beeping over because I was in traffic, and I had no idea. I was just going down 275 on my way to the office. I get to the office, and everybody's just standing around. Nobody's moving. Everybody's focused on the TVs. I literally found out like 45 minutes after it had happened, actually what happened. And being a military brat, growing up with my dad being in the Army all my life and everything, had a different impact on me because I've known what it's like for my dad to be gone for years in war times, and then what impact will this have, because we were just attacked in the United States on our soil, which is, I don't think it's ever really happened in history. And
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. I sit corrected.
well, on the continental United States,
Yeah.
Right.
Continental
I was thinking
United
the continental United
Red
States.
Dawn was not real, so no.
So,
Yeah, I'm not an expert. But
right. But
Neither was
it's
Canadian.
it was a very serious moment, and I called and I talked to my parents, and made sure my children were okay. Obviously they were very young, so they were not really young enough to comprehend the situation at the time, but it was a very surreal feeling because in Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, because of the Army and Air Force Base, it became the hub at that point, and they were worried about Florida getting attacked next. You know, Central Florida, and it was weird. And the president of the United States happened to be in Sarasota at the time of the attack.
Yeah, he was at school. Yeah.
Yeah, he was reading. He was reading to his class. Him and Adam Putnam were both at this school reading at that time, and jumped on Air Force One and had to interrupt. They came in, I was told they came in so nonchalant, interrupted him reading and ushered him out. Everything stayed calm, quiet, and they were gone.
Yeah. And they call it the infamous pause.
Right.
He paused like 24 seconds or 36 seconds.
Yeah.
So, something like that.
Well, he got the information.
Right. It was an event that definitely changed our country, changed actually our patriotism. Yeah. I think it took patriotism to a whole new level.
I mean, look at Ashley. Show your shoes.
Yep, there you go.
Show us the
American
flag
proud
shoes
to be an American.
right there.
You know, so that's where I was.
Yeah.
You know, being the oldest of the group.
That's crazy. Yeah,
It's wild that you were even in the first grade and you remember that. It's such a point part of your childhood or that day, and then bringing the TVs in and that happening. You know, then obviously a big part of upbringing and everything, but that's still wild to me that they would wheel in TVs in the first grade class.
Wheel them in. That was back when,
those are some thick TVs.
TVs on wheels. Everybody remembers the TVs on wheels.
Yay, it's movie day.
Yeah.
But that's still.
I couldn't imagine them bringing in TVs from.
There was actually a physical cable connected all the way to it.
That's a whole other, like you mentioned, a whole other, this conversation could go in a million different directions, but you mentioned like being afraid of planes overhead, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I had a very physical reaction to that in the weeks after September 11th, planes, and because for days you didn't hear any.
And it changed how we go to the
especially being in Rhode Island,
so
that close to New York, you're
so many people that,
planes.
you know, the catalytic events that lead people into depressions or, you know, whatever, life-changing events like this. Everybody was affected in one way or another, even someone in the first grade, you know.
Yeah, I was terrified of, I thought planes were going to crash into my house. I didn't sleep for days. And
maybe consciously it was a wise decision to do that, because the idea of being able to collectively recover and grow from something is to be able to work through it and accept that it's happened and talk about it and you get past it in that way rather than keeping it in the shadows. So maybe maybe the psychologist at school or the guidance counselor was like, they need to know what's happening. Maybe it was a conscious decision even, you know.
I sit and watch the news with my 6-year-old every morning while we're getting ready for school, and there was news clips and stuff like that going on, and I did explain it to my 6-year-old today, what it was about, and explain to her, you know, especially, you know, during the pledge, if there's a moment of silence, make sure that you really feel what you love and love everyone while you're sitting there pausing and explain to her what it was about. And she really appreciated.
All right, we'll segue forward from there. I know. But if I could ask, if we just do literally just like a second of complete silence, and just 10 seconds, 15 seconds, just to close our eyes and think about and remember everybody, and then we'll move forward. Okay. 1, 2. All right, thank you. Going forward. All right, so this is my friend Marcus. He owns Escapology. We are in Lakeland, Florida, if we haven't already said that already. I had the opportunity to come here, probably about a month ago? 6 weeks ago?
A little longer
2 months,
than that,
2 months ago.
Yep.
We did it, like I've talked about before, I'm a therapist, and we did it with a bunch of the therapists that I work with, and we got on 2 teams, and me and my friend Julie both got to pick a team. I happened to pick the winning team, and we beat everybody. The other team did get out, but we did it faster. So therefore, I'm the winner. Still the winner. Still hold the title belt. But I had the opportunity to come here, and when I was talking to Eneix the other day about where should we do our next video, he's like, let's do it at Escapology. I'm absolutely, that place is beautiful. I'm going to take a few pictures and I'll post them of this place. I can't post any of the rooms, but what do you have, 4 rooms? Mm-hmm. They have 4 rooms. The room that I beat, nobody else was ever able to beat it, so they're closing that room down.
And hasn't since. So
No,
Story will go with.
time for it to go.
that's the rule.
That's the story we're gonna go
Not
with.
true. But yeah, so they're changing out that room. How often do you change out rooms?
About once a year now.
Once a year, and you have 4 rooms currently. I heard the. What is the name of the room? It's not a zombie room. It's
Antidote?
Antidote. It is like a zombie.
No, it's a laboratory setting.
Laboratory.
You're just scientists, not
These
zombies.
scientists, not zombies.
No.
But I heard that's
a
kind of
zombie
a big
apocalypse.
room. That's the one that everybody wants to do. And
It's a very popular game.
very
show.
popular room. But I have a handful of questions.
Well, you know,
for him.
They're all
whole-
very popular.
The whole premise behind Escapology is you're actually paying money to be locked in a room and then challenged to get out on your own.
challenge, yes. To use your
So,
brains.
you know, Escapology is the only one of the places in the whole city of Lakeland that you can go and get paid. You pay.
you
paying you.
pay.
You pay him to lock you in a room, and you got to get out on your own intelligence. Oh, and check out the cool hat. If you win and you get out of there,
You can
get
wear-
to wear one of these hats.
cool
See the
hat.
other hats there too.
Or
Well, then
one of
you
those
become
hats.
an escapologist.
And you become an escapologist,
Yes.
like he
Yeah.
said.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, when I was typing in Escapology earlier, it kept typing in Escapologist. I'm like, I know I am, but we're talking about where I'm going. but what got you into escape rooms? That's the biggest question for everybody.
I just thought they were a very unique and cool kind of new thing that
Did you? I mean,
came
did you
about.
live in Lakeland at the time?
Yeah. So this has only been over the last like 3 years or so, a little over 3
Are
years.
you a escapologist yourself?
Not until I heard about what these were and started down the path of opening the business.
And then you went and tried
So-
a couple of them, and you're like,
Yeah. My
really
wife
cool.
went and did one. That's kind of where it all started, and was telling me about them, and I thought they sounded really cool, really neat idea. Went and did one, and yeah, just kind of fell in love with it. Yeah, the idea then later was brought to me about doing one here in Lakeland and opening one, and it just dinged, and then I didn't stop from that moment on until we opened. Until now, really.
Great facility.
Yeah,
So-
it's beautiful.
It just was something that I knew I wanted to do. And like you said earlier, jumped in with both feet and my head first.
Both
head and
head
feet.
first. That's
Yeah.
how I like to do everything.
And yeah, so my wife and I work feverishly to keep the fun going. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. We like to have fun.
So, what were the difficulties in starting? I mean, you had the idea, you had the theory, and how'd you take that first step?
Well, first thing for me was starting out a name. I needed a catchy name for the business. So this was before Escapology. So we started out, we were going to be our own thing. The creative aspect of writing the games, I loved that. But I had gone and done these games, and I thought that Escapology was, if I could be in Escapology, that was 100% my goal. So then it was just trying to get them.
Well, Escapology is
We're a
there's one in
franchise. Yes.
There's
so
one in
now
Orlando.
we're the largest, yeah.
Oh, okay.
in
So
North America now.
there's a lot of them.
Now we were the 6th to sign up, and now we've got over 40 locations open and 60 something, I believe, signed up right now. So we're the largest
Okay,
now.
I didn't
but
realize there was that
getting
many.
them to
Okay.
agree
To
to
let
have
you.
me, yeah, and to do this here because they were right in Orlando, took a lot of work.
Yeah.
Do a lot of it. They came to downtown, fell in love with, they had been, one of them had been to Harry's before, but just to kind of sell the idea of doing it here was a lot of work. And then it was business school 101 for me to hit the ground running,
Right.
to figure out what I needed to do for myself, the city, to find, financing, things like that, and just everything that comes with opening a business. So many challenges. That's a broad answer.
Right.
But
It's a fun
many
roller coaster
challenges.
ride.
But I knew, but the idea, and I had a great groundwork of kind of being I had a great foundation to work off of.
Okay.
To go in to start something, but still, it's a whole new thing, at that point.
With all that said, what were your biggest hurdles? What were the most difficult points to overcome? Like I see other business opening, and oftentimes it's getting the licenses to do this.
I think, licenses, permitting, that all, everything came very easily. Fortunately for me, I met some great people that were able to help me with the project. Marlon Lynn, my architect and project manager, was an incredible part of my journey. Probably dealing with the bank, because I did, need to find funding.
I know a banker.
I know a banker.
I know a banker.
Unfortunately, Eneix, he might have helped to make the process a little easier, but that was maybe the longest, convincing them that this was going to work here and that it was a viable business opportunity, because I did need to,
build a business
seek
plan.
some financing.
Show the plan.
We were doing it.
Yes.
We did a full, and then the full renovation here, taking an almost 100-year-old building and making it work. So obviously I didn't do that. My contractors, but I was very much involved with that. Yeah, sure, I actually did do some of that, but the physical aspect of changing this whole space into what it is now, securing the financing, that spent probably the most time with people at Center State Bank. Brett Kostakis said.
That's the second person in a couple of days that have said thank you, Center State Bank.
Right, they were great.
So cheers to
I
Center
couldn't have
State
done
Bank.
it without them.
Right.
But that was definitely a major challenge, and that was some of my background was in that too. So I feel like I was comfortable during the process, but it was strenuous and long in dealing with them. Again, my foundation from where I was coming from, I was comfortable with most of the processes that it took to make this happen. It was just, things, timelines and being aware of things we're going to need to change. But luckily, everything came very, very easily to me during the process, and cheers to that. Because
cheers to that.
I have heard nightmares about, permitting, licensing.
Yeah.
We had great inspections, like everything just,
Like I was ready to say, well, this was an old building, so the roof was pretty much caved in. We had to buy a new roof. A friend of mine, I was actually wearing the shirt last episode, but he bought this place in Old Richmond, Virginia, and it's this beautiful location. And he's like, well, we basically had to rebuild the entire place.
Yeah.
You bought the place that I used to come to and party in.
Right.
When I, just out of college.
Yeah. Well, and it was definitely.
My VIP was right there.
Yeah.
And that was, we looked at everywhere in downtown that was available. There was one other location that we were very much interested in that would have been probably similar to that needed everything, not that this didn't need everything, but everything and then some. But this has the back patio. We absolutely loved the patio because we wanted to have a place where we could have events,
that back patio.
parties,
Beautiful.
an outdoor space when the weather turns. So it's been a big part of the venue, and then the location being a former bar and having what it looks like from outside. To me, it had a great fit. And along the way, when I would be a little bit unsure about something, somebody would always come along and say, "No, that's perfect," and I would find myself in complete agreement with them. Usually it just took one, another perspective of somebody going, well, this is why and that, and then going, oh yeah, okay, I see that. But for the most part, things came very easily. And then just not, and then going with the flow makes things a lot easier too.
Always makes it easier. Just follow along.
I may have had more hurdles if I had set up hurdles. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
so
I think you've done very well for yourself. You and your wife Kendra have come together.
Yeah.
Gives you the opportunity to work together, and gives you the freedom to spend more time with your family that you might not have.
My little escapologist.
Yes, you were working at day-to-day job.
It's
So,
different.
It's
It's definitely different.
Yeah.
Getting used to, this climate and the challenges that come with running and owning a business and those responsibilities and those stresses, which are many, but different. Yeah. But it's been fun. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what we do, and people smile and have a good time, and that's
what it's about to be an entrepreneur. You just ride the roller coaster, the ups, the downs, occasional loop-de-loop.
Absolutely.
Just hold on and try not to, grip the handle too hard.
Right.
I rip the handles off.
Yeah.
Completely. So
you gotta go with the flow.
I'm somebody in Lakeland, and I want to come to your place. What do I gotta do?
You can walk right in. We're open 7 days a week.
An Escapology.
So that's another thing. So we're open 7 days a week. We're always here. We love our downtown community. We have tons of foot traffic here on Pine Street with the realtors, and that was another thing is the development around us. No Bay had just been built when we went in, and I knew that downtown was expanding in other ways, and that expansion has just continued. So we're a different kind of entertainment stop in downtown for people to try. So I think we're a great fit here. But yeah, you can walk in. You can find us online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on our website, escapologylakeland.com. Find us all over the interwebs. You can book online. You can call in and book. We're very accommodating to our patrons to get you to come here and have a good time. We're still, I think, even in a process of educating our customers about what it is that we do, what we are here, and why there is a value and benefit for them to come and play, and why it would be a good time.
That's one of the reasons we're here tonight.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We get people coming here all the time that think we're a spa or a bar. We kind of tell what we do.
It's not gonna be worse.
But obviously, the industry and what we do
I think you're a really
has
cool
grown.
haberdashery.
I mean, the last 2 years, I think just about everybody. Sony with the Escape Room movie in January that came out.
Oh, it was great.
Very much caught
It was a
on
good movie.
to be a mainstream
I watched it,
thing.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I actually watched it shortly after I came here, and the reason I watched that movie was because I came here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, Escape. All right. So last question that I have
The
is,
swamp.
what advice would you give to anybody that's never done an escape room before, that wanted to come in? It's 6:13. They're walking across, Pine Street here. They're like, let's go do an escape room. I have no idea what I'm doing. Is it better
that
to go
mentality.
in? Yeah. I think, is it better to go in not knowing anything, or go in thinking that you're going to beat it?
Sure. I mean, just like with any activity, you probably want to know a little bit about what you're doing, but we're here to tell you about what it is. We do get a lot of people that walk in, hey, what is this? You tell them about it. Well, that sounds like fun. Hey, do you have an hour to kill? Do you have an hour this afternoon to play? Yeah, sure, we'll try it out. So keep an open mind and have fun. It's about having fun. So
It's a great place to take a date.
It's a great place to take a date. It's a great place
Unless
for
you're like
family
me,
bonding,
because
for
I only
team
like
building.
to win. If I'm not winning, I get very.
But then you might miss something.
Well, you get to
You might be too focused
it'd
on
be a
something.
perfect place for a date, because you get to find out who that real person is.
That's
That's
true.
what I'm saying, and they can't leave.
If you put a timer, because the timer's in there, the timer's going, and the music's
Come
building.
on!
And
I hate you.
The
We
real
never met before.
persona comes out. Absolutely. That's why employers like it so much, because they can see how their employees will interact with each other.
Absolutely.
Under pressure.
But it totally brings the whatever. If you're a natural leader, or you're the finder of things. That is absolutely teamwork.
That's
the
really
weakness
funny.
of one, the strengths of the other.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So that's what it's all about. It's all about teamwork. So we don't get to do stuff like this in our everyday lives, I don't think. Well, I mean, a lot of us.
But I appreciate you letting us have it.
No, I'm glad you guys came. Yeah,
hang out with
absolutely.
you
For
tonight.
sure.
Definitely.
I never tell our hashtag weekly token hot girl that she's going to have a speed round. But this is Ashley. I met Ashley, probably about a year ago. I said, I own a beard company, or a beard products company, and I'm like, people never want to come and talk to me because I'm a guy with a beard. Guys with beards like to come and talk to pretty girls. So I have Ashley at my tent, or wherever we're doing things all the time, so that she can be there. And actually, Nick, that you guys met in the last episode, bought product from her because I wasn't standing there. True story. We seen it earlier tonight at Swan. I think you have a handful of questions for her.
I do. Where is the?
Oh, you're gonna run off? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Get
All
original questions.
I was gonna go with 5 originals.
5 original questions.
5 originals. Five originals on the speed round.
Okay. 5 original questions on the speed round. Ashley, what would be your dream vacation?
Ooh, I would like to go ideally to Alaska, but maybe Sweden. I want to bathe in a hot spring while watching the Northern Lights.
No.
I just wanna be there.
Just want to be there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
She's there in person.
So next question: if you could be anything, not like a spirit animal, or not like you could do any profession, any job, real or imaginary.
I always wanted to be a superhero.
She never wanted to be a
What would be your superpower?
Telepathy. Sorry.
Telepathy.
Too much small beer.
Wait, is that?
Telepathy. So
You know what people are thinking?
well, it's not only
It's like X-Men.
Power of the mind, right?
yes.
Yeah. Telepathy.
So you can control what they're thinking. You can get into their thoughts. You
Yeah.
can make them do things. Basically, it's like the ultimate. To me,
You
it's
want
the
to
ultimate
be able to
power.
control people.
I've always wanted to be a superhero. Yeah.
Superhero.
Have you seen the show The Boys?
I didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it
I
either.
did not.
I was disappointed.
I wasn't a
I
huge
was very
fan. I was actually very disappointed.
Is that
I started watching
Is that the
Carnival.
Rogan one?
No.
The Boys?
No, it's on
No,
Amazon
That's like
Prime.
Good Boys or something like that.
Yeah, that was
It's
yeah.
That's like a
It's a spoof
Not
on
good.
superheroes.
It's a spoof on superheroes, and it's just not very
It's
good.
not very good, no. But
I mean, they're still trying to
new
blow
one
it up,
you
and
were
I think
saying,
it's like
Seth Rogen produced a road or whatever.
yeah.
What's that one? That's like called The Good Boys or something like that, isn't it?
No, that's
Netflix.
he produced The Boys.
Oh, that is it. Okay,
Yeah.
that is it. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Seth
yeah.
Rogen
I
done
love
that?
Seth
Yeah.
Rogen
He also
too.
produced The Preacher, which is actually pretty
I
decent.
haven't seen that.
Um,
The Preacher, the movie.
no, the TV
Oh,
show.
you ever seen The Preacher, the movie?
No.
Or excuse me, I think that's the Machine Gun Preacher.
That sounds.
Dude, it was
Yeah,
badass. Yeah. With what's his name from 300?
What's his name?
Gerard Butler?
Gerard Butler.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Thank you.
It's a speed
Yeah,
round
no,
with
I
the
get
hottie.
people
Oh,
tell
yeah,
me I
go.
look
Next
like a
question.
holiday.
Speed
She
round
got
with the
excited.
hottie.
Next question.
Yeah,
Superhero.
thank you.
Next
Come on,
question.
Next
If you
question.
could have a conversation with anybody, dead or alive, in history, anybody, you sit down and have a conversation, who would that person be?
There's only one right answer.
Real or imaginary?
It could be
Or
real
real?
or imaginary. I'll
Real?
open it up.
Okay,
you
real
know.
or imaginary?
Bugs Bunny? Yes.
Real or imaginary?
Straight out of the turkey. You have to ask him.
Ooh.
No way.
There's so
I don't know what
many.
he was saying.
There's so many. Part of
But
me
you
is
can only
like
pick one.
conspiracy theories, but then
Oh.
part of me is
Area
like
51.
I-
And 52. Yeah.
I need to know the truth. So many things.
Oh, X-Files.
Right? Gosh, there's just too many people.
Okay, I'll give you 3.
Okay, give me 3.
Go ahead. Tell me 3.
Oh,
I-
you were gonna
I
get
thought you
three.
said I'll give you 3.
Make it
I
multiple
needed
choice.
choices. Please make
Jessica
it multiple
Rabbit.
choice.
No, you tell me the
Give her
top.
bunny.
Donald Duck and
Yeah, you tell me your top 3
My top 3.
that you would like to have a sit-down conversation over a nice beer from Swan Brewery.
Probably Reagan.
Good
I don't-
choice.
that's a fantastic.
Reaganomics.
That's an amazing choice.
Yeah.
I like that choice.
Definitely. Oh, this is gonna take forever. Should have prepped for this.
You want a different question?
No, you don't get to prep.
That's
For the
right.
speed round. That's it.
There's nothing speedy.
Source speed.
Richard Branson.
Oh, good choice.
Another good
Still
choice.
alive.
Sir Richard Branson.
Sir
Sir Richard
Or
Branson.
maybe before he was Sir.
Oh, could be either one.
Before he was the billionaire that he is. Yeah.
I'm gonna drop an ear bomb.
Oh, and Corey Taylor.
No, because Corey Taylor answers anything on Instagram. I can have a conversation with you right now.
Valid.
Matt Shadows. Just for fan reasons, I would have a conversation with him. Mm-hmm. But the other two, business and conspiracy, that probably would make my life complete.
Not Eneix.
Next question.
No.
What's your first concert?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so first concert was Garth Brooks when I was 4, but the first concert that I went to myself was Insane Clown Posse when I was 13 years old.
Oh, what do they call them?
Juggalos.
Juggalos. Are you a juggalo?
Technically,
No, but there was like a female name for the
Juggalette.
Juggalettes.
Technically, it was Dark Lotus, so it was Insane Clown Posse, Twisted.
Oh, she's fixing us right now, which means she was in.
Yeah.
I was painted.
Did you have big Jinko pants?
Absolutely. They were not Jinkos.
They were.
They're trip pants.
They were Jinkos.
Trip pants, because you tripped over them.
However, I was the only clothed female because I was only 13. Everyone else did not have a shirt on.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Where was this? Orlando? It had to be Orlando.
It was Janice Landings.
Janice. Tampa. Or St. Pete, excuse me.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It was wild. It was pretty fun.
That's my favorite.
It was my first mosh pit.
Let's see, one more question.
One more good one.
One more question. Dream car.
Dream car?
Jesus
Dream
Fish
car.
SUV.
Yeah.
That's current.
Oh,
car.
that's current.
Dream car.
Well, that's a trick question because
No.
I don't want a car.
Well, it doesn't have to be a car.
Dream
Automobile.
vehicle.
Dream
vehicle.
G6.
Vehicle.
She's like G6. G5, excuse me.
Like a Pontiac G6?
No, G5. I said it wrong. She was like, I want a Pontiac
Dream
G6.
vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna
with
roll up to my G5 in a G6.
no. Brand new Chevy Tahoe is dream.
Wow.
Very
Comfortable.
practical,
Yeah.
but they're really expensive among other vehicles. But dream vehicle, that's it. Chevy Tahoe, brand new,
What color?
black,
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Yeah,
everything black.
everything.
Excellent.
Black on black.
Black. Murdered. I think that's
Murdered
the name.
out?
Murdered.
Murder. That's how we do it.
I'm hip.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're gonna send it back to you and we're gonna do the exact same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
the exact same thing.
Hey.
But backwards.
You're not the only one that's ever put on top of that. Like, I would love those questions. Those are like my favorite questions in the world. Alright, what are you listening to?
I have some for you. What's favorite movie quote?
Favorite movie quote? Life isn't Father Knows Best anymore. It's a kick in the face on a Saturday night with a steel-toed Kodiak work boot. A trip to the hospital bloodied and bashed for reconstructive surgery.
16 Candles or
No.
Breakfast?
No.
Something along those lines, though.
No.
What is it?
Cable Guy.
No,
Cable
nah.
Guy.
No way.
Cable Guy.
Cable Guy.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that was
That is
one
Cable
of those.
Guy.
Yeah.
If it's from something, if Jim Carrey stole it from somebody else, but no.
yeah, it's from something.
It's
from
Jim
something.
Carrey.
Because it's
Well,
Cable
because-
Guy.
well,
It's
Cable
from
Guy
one of the
stole
movies.
everything away,
Right.
so
it's from
valid.
it's from a movie. Yeah. Harold Ramis or something like that, maybe.
It might be. I never thought about
Mine,
that. but
the late
yeah.
great John Candy,
Yeah.
is Big Bear Chase.
Yeah.
Big Bear Chase Me.
Oh.
Could have been about a bear or a sandwich or a metaphor for life. Anyway, so what was the question?
What are you listening
What
to?
am I listening to? I'm not sure right now, but this has been Beach Bar Lounge Radio.
Okay.
It's been my vibe all summer, which has been great.
It's when
Postmodern
you-
Jukebox, though,
when-
is
when you
probably
get
the
in your
latest thing to
car-
really get in my ear.
When you get in your car,
What am
are
I
you
listening to? NPR.
NPR?
Yeah, smooth jazz, late at night. Just
I'm
some
not gonna
smooth
lie.
jazz on the way home.
That's the way
What's your spirit animal?
That's a tough one. That is tough. My daughter's is definitely a sloth.
Yeah.
And she will tell you that. I'm gonna go with narwhal.
Narwhal.
Yeah, it's got that great big tusk.
Dude, it's a giant
Swims in the channels in the Arctic. Like,
with a unicorn freaking coming out of it.
Tusk, yeah. It's, like it's a modified tooth.
Yeah, coming out of its forehead like a unicorn.
Doesn't even know why it's there.
No clue, no idea.
Even the animal doesn't know.
Okay.
That's me.
You need a narwhal hat.
And favorite person to follow on social media?
Ooh, I don't follow anyone on social media. Or
Okay.
do I? Or do I? The next guy doing something funny that I could come across, I guess.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Comedians? Are there comedians on social media? I don't do a podcast or anything. I listen to a lot of comedians on the radio, and
Have you listened?
I don't really
Have you seen the new Netflix Chappelle show?
yes, it was amazing.
I
I thought it was great. I loved it.
I haven't seen it.
There were certain times where I wanted
I was
to.
uncomfortable the first 10 minutes.
There
so I turned
were
it off.
there were some of those areas. Well, so one of my favorite things to watch on Netflix is Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with
Yes.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Yes.
So because he has such down to earth conversations with people, and he seems to be such a real
It's still a
person.
show about nothing. It's kind of like our show. It's
Well, and
really
he
a show about
talked to
nothing.
Chappelle, and he talks to a lot of comedians, and then it's the Netflix thing. So a lot of the comedians he talks to are pertinent to Netflix and all that. But maybe watching the special and having seen him on that, and then getting a little being like, whoa, you can't, like, that's going a little too far, and then listening to him, and then, but also I watched his other two specials within like a week of each other.
Yeah.
So some of it kind of came back around. So
Yeah.
you were kind of seeing the beginning of his thought process, maybe of a certain joke or how it was evolving. So this special, taking all that into account is how I process things. So
I get it.
the psychology, what he was doing up there, and it was pretty funny.
But yeah, I appreciate you having us here tonight.
No, thank you for coming.
Really, I appreciate it.
fun.
You have a beautiful place. I'm going to post
For all of your subscribers, yeah, absolutely. Come on down, check us out. Find us online. 23 of us now. 23 of us now. Yeah.
Oh, you were 23.
I was 22.
Okay, so we're
we got
hoping
one
for
more.
at least 27, 28.
Let's double it.
20. Ooh, let's double it.
What's that mean, double it?
Triple it. It's triple.
Everybody.
So everybody
Tell
that
your
watches
friends,
this,
tell a friend, make new friends. Like I've said, it's always good to make new
Subscribe.
friends. And tell them to subscribe.
What do you want them? You want them to tell you what would you like to talk about, or where would you like to see
exactly
what happened?
Tell us what you want to see.
Yeah.
We'll go do it. I don't think
If you want like
you
guest
afraid of anything?
No, I'm not afraid of
panelists to
anything.
come on.
I'm not afraid of anything.
Obviously,
tell me to
I'm
do
rocking this
something.
really cool
Tell me
hat
to do
tonight.
something crazy.
Look at this hat. Check out
I mean,
this hat.
I've already been pronounced dead 3 times.
Comment on my hat. I'm not even supposed
See,
to
now
be on
that we
this
know, like what
Yeah.
now
I mean,
now
it's
that
like-
I know that, so
Yeah.
the next one we do here, we'll have to we'll blow this out of the
We'll
water.
do it. We'll do it here again in let's say
come back around.
5-6 weeks, and we'll do it inside one of the rooms. We won't
can
give
do
you
that.
any clues to what's
We
going
can time
on.
it. We could
Yeah.
do it to 60
But we can.
minutes.
Oh, we'll do it exactly 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
And
make
see
you
if we can
puzzles and
finish
stuff
it. If I can stop talking long enough
within
to
the hour.
actually get it done in 60 minutes.
That's gonna be the challenge. Can Shane stop talking long enough for us to actually get out of the room in time?
Just want to give a quick shout out to the guys at Swan Brewery.
Absolutely.
Well, we could talk about that or this. I got the Champerado. It's actually the first time I went there was before they were even actually open. And Dan, the owner, is like, "Here, you got to try this." And I tried it. And I'm like, "It tastes like Mexican hot chocolate." And he's like, "You nailed it." I'm like, "Actually, no. I already knew it was called Mexican hot chocolate before I even tried it." But it is my favorite beer. What do you got?
I am drinking my favorite beer, which is the Bean,
Which used to be called,
the Bean Flicker.
but it can't be called that.
But we can't say that anymore.
Oh, really?
So,
We
now
could get into a
called
whole podcast
the Bean.
about that.
I'll have to find out.
and it is my favorite go-to. It's very light. It's a coffee and coconut infused.
Yeah. What do you got? What did you have?
What did you
I
have?
had the Cliffy.
Cliff Clavin.
Cliff
Cliff
Who
Clavin.
knows who Cliff Clavin is?
He's also my spirit animal.
Who's Cliff Clavin?
Well, Norm, don't you
He's
know?
our favorite, the postman.
Yes.
Cheers.
And why is it called that? Does anybody know? Or am I the only
His
one?
name was Cliff Clavin.
Does anybody know why that's called
Oh
Cliff
no, I
Clavin?
don't know.
Oh no, I don't know.
Is that what you drink
Because
at?
if you ever make it to Swan, which I'm assuming a lot of people, because this is still kind of Lakeland, right next door is the post office.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
a lot of people park in the post office
And then come over.
and then walk
Oh,
over.
that's great. I never
so
heard
they
that.
kind of paid homage to the
Cliffy
to
walking in.
the post office
and Cliff Clavin at the
and
same
Cliff
time.
Clavin.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
thank you very much, guys, at Swan. Dan, we love you. We look forward to some of your future adventures. I know he's got an
2.0.
arcade coming up pretty soon,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. I think it's on North Side.
Market.
Barcade.
Yeah,
Which-
Barcade.
Everyone should know that Swan is only a 2-minute walk from Escapology. By the
2
way,
minutes.
So.
Well, depending
2
on
minutes.
They all
how
know
quick you
that.
Well, that's why we got the.
They all know
That's
that.
why we got the beers.
Yeah.
I mean, we were at Swan and then walked
Came
over
here.
here.
Pine Street connection.
Dude, it's perfect. It's perfect. So cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.